Hello Ria, welcome to Easy. Literally zero effort, micro habits you can implement in order to write your book not only faster, but also better quality and also just slayer. Because honestly, sometimes these hacks be taking too much effort and I'm like, I cannot be asked. Micro habits are good because they're easy to implement and they actually change stuff. So I'm going to give you a bunch of them. Make sure you pick top 3 favorite max, because if you do more than that, then you're literally just going to get overwhelmed and do none of them. So at least pick one and stick to it rather than try to do them all and fail. So just pick your favorite one. Yes, you are going to be blessed. Okay, what I find really helpful is track down a friend or make a friend, and don't only become friends with them for this reason because it could end up toxic and end up like stabbing you. You need high standards, high self-respect, etc. But make a friend who is also writing a book or doing something creative, then meet up with them at least once a week, or maybe, I don't know, once every 2 weeks, and write your books together. Okay, because literally I do this with one of my friends. We always meet up and we write our books, and we both are so productive because of it. And I know that day I will be writing because we're both just on the writing grind. So that's a really easy way, because you're hanging out with your friends, it's a wholesome activity, and you're also doing that. I feel like I literally don't have any friends who write. Literally make them. Okay, go places where you find someone who writes. Okay, I literally met my friend in TK Maxx. Like, it's not hard. Just if someone's giving you good vibes, approach. Okay, it's fine. Next one is literally just read. Force yourself to read or watch shows. I honestly don't care. Okay, with the reading one, that is more significant, because if you're reading, you're seeing how the actual authors are writing sentences in a published good quality book. Make sure you're reading good books, not trash books, because if you're reading a trash book, number one, you're not going to want to read it for long unless you're like reading it for the memes. But if you're reading it and you're like, oh, this is so trash, you're going to read barely any of it. So pick a book. If you don't like the book, drop it. Okay, sunk cost fallacy. You're not morally obligated to finish the entire book. So if the book's good, carry on, you'll get absorbed, you'll pick up that writing style, you'll see how effective sentences are created and subconsciously pick up on that vocabulary anyway, which will make your own writing better. Also within storytelling as well, this is where shows and stuff come into play. Or for the language, you can also listen to podcasts, literally listen to anything that's good, really creative. For example, Detroit Become Human, everything is amazing. So yeah, it can literally be games as well, literally anything, and then you'll literally just be inspired. So if you're doing that every day, you're getting inspired every day. Life hacks. Next one is make sure your writing is formatted properly. Okay, if you're writing and it's all in a huge document and it's not double spaced, it's not indented, it doesn't look like an actual book, it looks like you've opened a Google document and are writing an essay, are you gonna want to write? No. Even if you're still disciplined, like, I know everyone's like, oh my god, you should put discipline first, then motivation. But if it looks if it looks like, I don't know, like, look at this book, right? If I am like going into this page, it needs to look like this, but like ebook version, you know? Because otherwise you're going to be reading it and you're going to be writing it, and it feels like you're not writing an actual book. It feels like you're writing an essay on Google Docs, or like, I don't know, trauma dumping on Google Docs, you know? Like, literally just actually format it properly. Like, I use E.L. Garabond, indent all of the writing, chapter titles, chapters, different font for the chapters, subtitles, actually double space, you know, research how do I make my document look like a book, and do it. Because that, ever since I've done that, my writing has been way more professional. Whereas when I was doing it in the crackhead document before, it was all just crack and the characters are just like yapping about random nonsense, and now I'm line editing, I'm like, what is this shit? This did not even go past in the old like revisions, because it was still in the nasty font, and now I actually changed the font. I'm like, I should have done this ages ago. So listen to me, do that, because it is literally just one change. All you have to do is change something once, and once you have changed that thing, your writing will change forever. Okay, it's literally one change, one micro that changes the macro. Hacked. Okay. Next is literally skip ahead. Okay, like if I'm writing a chapter and I don't know, let's say this is the entire chapter, right? If I am over here and like, okay, let's say this is the chapter I'm writing. If I'm at this point right here and I'm like, this bit is so annoying, I can't be asked to write it, I really want to write here, I will skip ahead to here. While I'm writing here, I will literally come up with the idea for this anyways. Automatically, it's so much better because you are actually writing what you're inspired to write, but you're still writing, you're still contributing. And then that's another advice, literally just write what you want to write. Okay, this can be taken in 2 ways. Number one, if you're like forcing yourself to write contemporary but you really want to write fantasy, but some idiot is like, oh my god, fantasy is for like 2-year-olds. Who cares? If you want to write young adult, if you want to write kids books, write kids books. They're so good. Okay, I literally do not care. Fuck other people, write what you want to write. Okay, it literally does not matter, because your book will be revolutionary if you're writing what you want to write and you're actually passionate about. Okay, so that is one way to take it. Another way to take it is if you have to write, like as I said, this bit and this bit, but you want to write this bit, but then you feel obligated to write this bit because this bit is in like more of the actual order of the book. Fuck that shit. You make your own rules. You can literally write here. Same thing with chapters, same things with like a part in the book. If you're like, I really don't want to write this chapter, I want to write this other chapter, not everything has to be linear. Okay, who is forcing you? No one is there holding you at gunpoint, but I'm holding you at gunpoint to subscribe, so make sure you're subscribed to the Bria Cole. If you don't, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, anyways, no, subscribe. But yeah, okay, subscribe. But yeah, anyways, what I was saying before is that you should subscribe, but also literally no one is holding you at gunpoint and be like, bitch, you have to write your book in order. No, because you can literally just go back and edit it and sort it out anyways. So literally just do what you want, follow your heart, etc. Next is you literally just need to make it easy for your future self. By doing XYZ now, it'll be so much easier for your future self. Ria, what is XYZ? Outlining properly, so you're not just writing and you're like, what the fuck is happening? I don't know what's going on. Oh my god. Having an outline will enable you to know what direction you're even writing in. Using an outline is actually efficient because you know what direction you're writing in, and then you can yap in the correct direction rather than yapping in a million directions and you don't even know what's going on. You've planned ahead. I have also documents for terminology in the book, like fantasy terminology I don't understand, so I can go back. I also have this thing called a lang prose document, where either if I come up with a really lang sentence but I have to delete it, you know, kill your darlings, I'll put it in that document, or I will also put quotes from other books I like in that document, so I can use quotes from that document for inspiration or paste my own quotes back in. That way I'm not having to waste time coming up with a completely original sentence, whereas I have this document. And also I organized it into different like things, like setting, then what specific setting, sunny, snowy, etc. Oh my god, characters, okay, hair. That way, and you don't even have to make this yourself. This is a tip within the tip to make it even easier. People have already done stuff like this online. Okay, my friend was telling me about something called Descriptionary, where literally if you can search what you want to write about, there will be a bunch of examples, sentences from actual published works. So make sure you do that, because that is even the life hack of the life hack. Like, why am I wasting my time making my own document? Okay, but like that's fine because I can edit. But if you want to do that even faster, you do not need to make your own notes. Okay, you can just, people have already done this online for you. I'm sure there's like a million pages on like Tumblr that have example sentences or something, so literally just use that. Okay, but I'm not saying like steal the author's work word for word and then get in a lawsuit, because do we have the time for that? No, you need to be efficient by not getting in a lawsuit. Also, what I said about thinking ahead is that literally just keep it organized, okay, with your outline. In my year 9 book, my outline was, I had an entire document and I called it Thought Dump. Also guys, make sure you drink water and stay hydrated. Anyways, I had a document, I called it Thought Dump. Thought Dump, what the hell was that? It was literally me writing a bunch of things, unorganized, no order to it at all, trash. Whereas what you can do is do Google Docs, or what I've done now is I've discovered Notion. I'm so rizzed by Notion. Notion is my wife. We are in love with Notion, okay? Because you can create a page within a page within a page within a page. You can do toggles. It will automatically organize itself. Okay, so use Notion and use their like life hack organization system. Or if you have a Chromebook and you're loyal to Google Docs, use Google Docs and then just have like different headings and then make it a chapter so you can like click between the thingies and just keep it organized for your future self. Okay, because I wrote my book I have now in a document and it used to be called Blank 4. I spent a week trying to find it, okay? Please stay organized. Don't call your document Blank 4. What was I doing? And then I was like, oh my god, where the fuck is my book? And having a mental breakdown. Whereas I could have literally just prevented the mental breakdown by calling it the actual name. Did you just put book, not Blank 4? What is Blank 4? I'm sorry, no. Organize stuff. Put it in files. Notion, Google Docs, spreadsheet, Excel, Google Sheets. Okay, spreadsheets, use spreadsheets to stay organized. Okay, and also make sure you just like have a rough idea of like what you want to do for each day. Another micro habit is literally just time yourself, okay? Because if you see the timer there, the more fast you're likely to write, because you have that extra time. You're having in your head, oh my gosh, I am being timed, time exists, because the timer actually reminds you that time exists, you know? Time is relative, as Einstein said. So if you tell yourself, I'm going to do this thing in 1 minute, you can do it in 1 minute. You know, Parkinson's law, the time you allocate to a specific task, the task expands or contracts to fit within that time, okay? So you can do that. But then also just this simple act, like easy life hack version of setting a timer, it makes you realize, oh my god, I need to go faster. I can't spend 1 hour on this sentence because I didn't realize it, but a million hours went past and I've just been going over this one sentence. So you know, I'm always like, don't over edit. And if you don't know, then you should subscribe and watch all of my other videos what you don't. But yeah, anyways, you know how I'm like, don't over edit. Don't over edit. The timer automatically reinforces that idea within you because you're aware that you're being timed. So instead of having to consciously keep that in your mind, just use the micro habit of setting a timer when you work. So you're like, I need to write. Exactly. Self-awareness is the first step to self-esteem. Next advice is literally just force yourself to either write 100 words a day or write for 10 minutes a day. Set a 10-minute timer and write. That's literally it. You can do it anywhere. There's no excuses. The reason that's a micro habit is because it's a micro amount of time. It's literally micro, okay? Macro is you need to write for 1 hour or you need to write 1k words. No, okay, we don't have time for that. Micro habit, write for 5 minutes a day. That way, if you have more time or you're getting really obsessed with the book, you'll carry on writing anyways. And even if you're only writing for 5 minutes, implement it as a habit, okay? You need to do that micro habit. You will slay, okay? You will slay. So do that. That's my advice. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the video call. Okay, bye.